One of the main weaknesses of the human race is the average person's familiarity with the word impossible. People know all the rules which will not work. They know all the things which cannot be done. This channel was made for those who seek the rules, which have made others successful, and who are willing to stake everything on those rules. A great many years ago, I purchased a fine dictionary. The first thing I did with it was to turn to the word impossible and neatly clip it out of the book. That would not be an unwise thing for you to do. Success comes to those who become success conscious. Failure comes to those who indifferently allow themselves to become failure conscious. The object of this channel is to help all who seek it to learn the art of changing their minds from failure consciousness to success consciousness. Another weakness found in altogether too many people is the habit of measuring everything in everyone by their own impressions and beliefs. Some who watch this will believe that no one can think and grow rich. They cannot think in terms of riches because their thought habits have been steeped in poverty, want, misery, failure, and defeat. These unfortunate people remind me of a prominent Asian who came to America when he was a student to be educated in American ways. He attended the University of Chicago. One day, President William Rainey Harper met this young man on the campus, stopped to chat with him for a few minutes, and asked what had impressed him as being the most noticeable characteristic of the American people. "Why," the student exclaimed, "your eyes. What does the typical Caucasian say about people of Asian descent? We refuse to believe, or we think odd, that which is not familiar or which we do not understand. We foolishly believe that our own limitations are the proper measure of limitations. Sure, another person's eyes may appear different because they are not the same as our own." Millions of people look at the achievements of highly successful entrepreneurs, such as Henry Ford, after they have arrived and envy them because of their good fortune, or luck, or genius, or whatever it is that they credit for the entrepreneur's fortunes. Perhaps one person in every 100,000 knows the secret of entrepreneurial success, and those who do know are too modest or too reluctant to speak of it because of its simplicity. A single event will illustrate the secret perfectly. One day, Ford decided to produce his now famous V8 automobile engine, one of the most successful developments in the history of the automobile industry. He chose to build an engine with the entire 8 cylinders cast in one block, and he instructed his engineers to produce a design for the engine. The design was placed on paper, but the engineers agreed to a man that it was simply impossible to cast an 8-cylinder gas engine block in one piece. Ford said, "Produce it anyway." "But," they replied, "it's impossible." "Go ahead," Ford commanded, "and stay on the job until you succeed, no matter how much time is required." The engineers went ahead. There was nothing else for them to do if they were to remain on the Ford staff. 6 months went by, nothing happened. Another 6 months passed, and still nothing happened. The engineers tried every conceivable plan to carry out the orders, but the thing seemed out of the question. Impossible! At the end of the year, Ford checked with his engineers, and again they informed him they had found no way to carry out his orders. "Go right ahead," said Ford. "I want it and I'll have it." They went ahead, and then, as if by a stroke of magic, the secret was discovered. The Ford determination had won once more. This story may not be described with minute accuracy, but the sum and substance of it is correct. Deduce from it, if you wish to think and grow rich, the secret of the Ford millions. You'll not have to look very far. Henry Ford was a success because he understood and applied the principles of success. One of these is desire, knowing what you want. Remember this Ford story as you watch, and pick out the lines in which the secret of his stupendous achievement has been described. If you can do this, if you can lay your finger on the particular group of principles which made Henry Ford rich, you can equal his achievements in almost any calling for which you are suited.